Hello, my name is Joseluis, and I'll be discussing the dangers and the risks of underage drinking. So, to grab your attention, thousands of people die every year because of underage drinking. Well, with this speech, I'm hoping to bring awareness to this problem because underage drinking can lead to many other problems which can affect a person physically and emotionally. Drinking too much, drinking too much for a long time period can really affect a person's life, especially if they are underage, like students, college students. For example, if you're a college student and you're a freshman and you're being pressured to drink and you're not the age, basically by being pressured, you're being influenced by others to do things that you don't feel comfortable doing, which can lead to like many negative factors like doing bad in school, having a negative social life, um, getting arrested, maybe alcohol may be a first step to trying other new drugs like Xanax, cocaine, weed, and many more other dangerous drugs. But the start of doing all those other drugs is basically drinking alcohol and having having influences from other people because you're underage. That's why my speech is going to be about how dangerous underage drinking can be for you yourself and for the people around you. Okay. So my first reason, which is supported by Alcohol Talk Sooner, it's a website I use. It's a primary source. It basically explains that underage drinking can lead to doing bad in school, like I mentioned in my thesis. Alcohol is capable of affecting the entire organ, which is inside your body, which is the liver, but particularly from the frontal lobe, which is part of the brain right here, which are responsible for a higher level of thinking, such as planning, decisioning, making, and judging likely consequences of action. Basically, if you drink too much and you're underage and your brain is still developing, there's this part of the brain called the frontal lobe, which is right here, which makes your judgment of action. Basically, like they're the ones that decide anything of what you're going to do, like the actions you make. Basically, if you drink too much and you're underage, even though this is still developing, it can mess up your judgment and may lead to negative actions. So another area of the brain affected by the alcohol is the hippocampus. This area is critical for learning. People with severe damage to this area of the brain, which is like in the back, I think, basically are unable to retain any information. So if you start drinking too much, basically this will affect your this will affect you like in the future when you're trying to get a job, trying to be successful, because this severe damage can really affect your memory, affect your brain and memory loss, retaining information, and all that type of stuff. The second information where I got my resource was from is from Prevent Underage Drinking. Is another primary source. It's a website as well. It's also part of my outline. They also explain that that you may feel disconnected from society, like how I just mentioned, as well in thesis, that if you drink too much, you may feel lonely, you may feel depressed. Basically, for teens, if you're not matured to make your own decisions, it will be even worse if you start drinking alcohol, and it will basically make your create your own decisions for you, but in a negative way. Okay. With also this thesis also, with this source, it also says that with poor self-monitoring skills, they may quickly drink too much and make impulsive and irresponsible decisions about whether to drive, have sex, or engage in reckless behaviors such as swimming, diving, daring each other to complete outlandish stunts. Basically, another thing is that when you're drinking with your friends and knowing that you're underage, there could be like a spark between your friends saying that, oh, I bet you can't do that, or you can't drink that much, or you can't talk to that girl, anything. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that when you're drinking and you're underage, you lose your whole entire capability of deciding what to do, whether it's right or wrong. You just go with the flow. Basically, you just go with what's there at that moment. You don't care what the actions are going to happen. You don't care what the actions of the choice you made. You just go with what people tell you, and because you're influenced of what you're doing, basically, like what I said in the beginning, you may be influenced to drink, which can lead to negative actions. The third source that I've used is called The Health and Social Impact of Underage Drinking. It's another website, it's primary source. It's in my thesis again. Basically says that underage drinking can lead to many car accidents, which is basically, this mostly affects to college students who are freshmen, who are being influenced by seniors. According to the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse, the alcohol binge drinking is defined as a pattern of alcohol consumption that brings the blood alcohol concentration (BAC) level of 0.08 or more. Basically, this means that if a cop stops you, and they make you do the breathalyzer test, it should be lower than 0.08. If it's higher, you're contaminated and you're intoxicated and you're driving, which can lead to a felony, which can lead to they could revoke your license, suspend your license, and you lose chances of driving ever again, basically, and could also lead to jail time. My last source that I've used is called Underage Drinking, National Institution of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, which is another primary source. It basically talks about how it may also cause persons to excessively drink more than normal. When you start drinking, you may get the liking of the alcohol, and you start drinking and drinking and drinking. And basically, what I'm trying to tell you guys is that, to sum this up, I would like to say that underage drinking is a problem that should be taken seriously, because it may change the life of a person who is drinking that is underage. Well, I'm going to leave this off by saying, so I'd like to leave you guys with a question to this topic, which is, how would you stop your friend or family member from drinking alcohol if they are underage, which the age drinking is 21? Alright guys, bye. Thank you.